some Minnesota parents are banding together to try and change state policy when it comes to the custody of American Indian children.
They say Minnesota is not following federal policy and children are not being properly protected. The parents and their attorney held a news conference announcing a new lawsuit today. They say instead of being heard in state court, their custody cases are going straight to tribal courts, and the non-native parent is not getting a fair shake. Susan-Elizabeth Littlefield is here to explain what parents are trying to do to regain custody of their kids.
Yes, it's a little bit complicated here. It all boils down to a policy guide that is continued to be used by counties here in Minnesota. It basically says what jurisdiction that custody cases go to when one parent is native and the other is not. The DHS guide suggests custody disputes should go to a tribal council, but this new lawsuit argues that is not how federal law works. These cases should first go to a state court. This is 3-year-old Amanda enjoying the California shoreline. This was before her father, who lives in Minneapolis, says a tribal judge ordered that the pair not leave Scott County, where her mother's native reservation is.
I either have to stay at a hotel or stay at a friend's house, and that's not right.
James Wynn says he only has partial custody of his daughter, despite the fact he caught his ex using heroin. He says his custody case, which is in tribal court, is favoring his wife, who is native.
You're trying to fight for your right to be a parent and to protect your kid, and that's just not what the framework is set for over there.
Michelle Steinoff says she's been fighting for rights in tribal court since her son was born 15 years ago.
I don't wish this upon anybody. It's a horrific experience, and it's traumatic, and it consumes your whole life. It really does. And things need to change.
And this attorney is trying to do just that. He says the Minnesota DHS handbook is giving counties information that contradicts federal law, and that custody cases involving off-reservation children like these should first be heard in a state court, not just a tribal court.
Why it matters for Minnesotans generally is that the tribal courts really aren't set up to adjudicate child custody issues between a member and a non-member parent. It's just sort of a court for the tribe.
The Shakopee, Mdewakanton, and Sioux community also told us that they view these matters as personal and private, and they don't want to discuss them publicly. They did give us a short statement here. We want to show you this. They said that they take this seriously, their duty to protect the health, welfare, and safety of tribal member children, and they believe in the fairness of their tribal court system, which has been in place for nearly 30 years. And DHS, they're involved in this suit too. They're not ready to comment. So there's a lot of moving pieces here. We're going to have to see what happens.
Absolutely.
And these aren't the only two families. I mean, we've done a lot of stories, especially recently. People are becoming more vocal about their concerns about it.
Absolutely. That's why this attorney tried to get people together. There's a lot of voices here.
All right. Thanks, Susan-Elizabeth.
Thank you.